actual and desired state. So when I say actual state, what I am, desired is what I want to be. If there is a huge gap, then person recognizes the need and would like to go for a product, a service, or an experience. Now, how to make these two state really, salient, that there is a gap, that there is a need which has to be addressed immediately with the product, brand, whatever. So there is an internal stimuli or an external stimuli. Marketer has not anything to do with the internal; they are more to do with the external. So when we discussed about external stimuli, whenever you're discussing about any strategy or a marketing action, just remember about different P's. So can we do something with the product to act as an external stimuli to trigger the need, or can we do something in terms of pricing wherein we offer something and tell that it is for a limited period, or can we do something in terms of physical distribution, and finally promotion. Then we talked about the next stage, which was search for information. So here I said it has sources of information where consumers search for information internally from their memory because of the externally from market generated content like branding, boarding, packaging, salespersons pitching, and consumer generated, which is about your friends, families, relatives, reviews, feedbacks. We also have another concept of search for information is the processing of information. So it's all about the central and peripheral. So whether I am using the major logical reason for buying a product, for example, last time I thought I will go for buying mobile. So I was thinking, should I go for Apple, should I go for Samsung, should I go for OnePlus, which one will I go for? So possibly I'm keeping 2 or 3 brands in my choice set, and then finally I make a decision. So am I processing the information based on the look, the design, the color, how good it looks in terms of its style? It's all about peripheral. But when I'm talking about the RAM, the processor, or something to do with the security, or maybe the type of the material which are used, what is the weight of the mobile, then I'm going for the central uh, features or attributes of the product to take a decision. We also discussed about the third stage, which was on evaluation of alternative or options. So over here, I'm a little confused. Should I go for a mobile? Should I go for a Apple Note? Should I go for a laptop? I'm a little confused. So that's all about the product. So there is a conflict. I want a laptop, I want a mobile, I want a notepad, but I cannot buy all the 3 because of my limited resource. So there is always a conflict between this also I want, that also I want, which is approachable. I am thinking that, okay, fine, if I'm buying a Apple as a brand, so it's good, so it's approach, but avoid is I have to pay a lot of money. So should I pay such heavy money for a product Apple? And another is avoid, avoid. Avoid, avoid means I think, acha chalo rehne do, I would not buy anything, I would not invest my money. For the time being, I don't want to. Let's avoid both of them and make my life easy. So I try to, postpone the decision and don't take it. So when you go for any evaluation, there is a conflict. You need to understand what is the conflict, what is the reason, how to solve. Then you need to understand what are the criteria. Is it I'm giving importance to brand name? Am I giving importance to certain features, price, whatever? What weightage am I giving? Is it that I'm giving first weightages in terms of price followed with brand? So if it is price and it is something which I'm determined, you cannot change my preference. So you need to know what is my, weightage, and it all depends upon my decision strategy. So if I would not like to compromise, meaning non-compensatory, I would not compromise on the price. So no matter how much you try to convince me, I will say no, nothing doing. My price is somewhere between the range of 30 to 50, not beyond 50,000. If I'm using compensatory, so what I'm doing, I'm saying fine enough, some features I may compromise. Like for example, there are some of the Samsung, A series, which 2 of them, one has a eSIM feature, other does not have. So maybe I may say, chalo, eSIM is not a very important feature, so I can compromise. But if price is something which is non-compromising, it falls in the non-compensatory criteria. So you need to understand that how I go for the decision strategy. The next is you need to understand the next stage, which we will discuss in detail, which is purchase decision. But do you have any doubt till here before I proceed? Okay. If you remember, we also discussed about consumer behavior in business to business or in business to consumer scenario, which I will discuss in detail once I tell you about the decision journey. We also talked about the factors which influences the journey. So let's say I am focusing on micro factor. Maybe as an individual, my personality is such that I always depend on other to take a decision, right? So I'm outer directed. So in micro factors, it will be all related to individual, the psychological factors like learning, attitude, perception, personality, motivation, emotions, mood, all individual factors. If I say macro factor, it is to do with socio-cultural, environmental factor. For example, when I say social, meaning to which income group do I belong to? When I say cultural, is it that the culture is something which is, trying to come as a hindrance, maybe? So, for example, I belong to Hindu culture, I'm an Indian, during Navratri, I may not go for having any non vegetarian. So, it's culture. And when I'm saying environmental factor like economic factor, political factor, or let's say situational factor, also can hinder the journey. Yeah. So let's say economic factor. So if I feel no, there is a huge anticipation that there might be an increase in the FD rate of interest, meaning fixed deposit. So I will wait. If I have confidence in the government, then that also will impact me. So I will think positive. Yes, the government will do something, so I will buy it. But if I am not having confidence, my consumer confidence index may impact what purchase will I make or should I wait. So these are some of the like situational factor. For example, let us say I don't have time now. I'm really hard pressed. I will not go for any financial, decisions. Like for example, yesterday one of my FD got matured, so I wanted to convert it into some other instrument which would give me a lot of return, but I did not have time. I'm having class, financial decision requires time. Yeah, so I thought let me go for renewing it for the next FD, which is for 400 days at 7.1. So something which is easy can be done and gives me some inputs or benefits. But if I would have had time, maybe I would have gone for some other better instrument. But because of stress of time, situational factor, my decision got an impact. I also discussed about type of product, something to do with the high involved or the low involved. So high involved is financial decision, buying of a house, yeah, getting admission to. Just a minute, just give me a second. Yeah. So if it is to do with the type of the product, so let's say I am going for buying a regular product like groceries. I may not be that very, finicky or very fussy. But if I'm buying something which is very high involved, like admission to a hospital, undergoing a surgery, buying a financial instrument, or some sort of, I would say, jewelries, that would come under the type of product. So please be careful what type of product you are dealing with. Is it a product which is a repeat buying, a regular buying, a frequent buying product where people will not be little casual, they will not be that serious compared to a very serious product? And then type of person. So let's say Pavan vis-a-vis Gautam. What type of person they are? Is it that Gautam is very analytical? He will be very, very comfortable if I use numbers, if I explain him what will be the growth rate, if I use a calculator and an Excel sheet. But Pawan may be a person who, just giving an example, who may not be financially very strong, does not have much knowledge, experience, background. So maybe Pawan will be a little perturbed if I try to explain him a lot in terms of numerics. He would be more interested if I can tell, look at the profile of the people who have gone for such financial instruments. So if Pawan sees that some of his colleagues have gone for such instrument, he will immediately go for it. That's a peripheral cue. So I take Pawan through that route while I take Gautam with the more logical, analytical route. Finally, we talked about buying situation, if you recollect, something which is to do with the routine buying, habitual buying. vis-a-vis something which is limited buying, and then which is yeah, high buying, a new task. For example, if let's say we are buying a new house, or let's say we would like to go for buying a new land. So it's something which requires a lot of time, energy, involvement. Risk is very high. If I buy, I cannot return it. Takes time, right? So therefore, you need to be careful. So in the context of decision journey, I also gave you a background. Let me take you the call of Vaidya. Yeah, Vaidya, you have raised the hand. Please go ahead.
Ma'am, can you repeat the buying situations that you spoke about?
Yeah. So would you be comfortable if I use a whiteboard?
Yeah, yeah, that
Yes,
works.
ma'am. Perfect.
Let me use a whiteboard and then take you through. Yes. So let us say, hmm. So I said buying situation. Yeah. So let's say this is a routine buying, vis-a-vis limited buying, and high buying, high involved. Yeah. So when it is routine buying like groceries, why did I put grocery in routine? Because it's a repeat buying. Repeat buying. But why I said high buying is not a repeat buying, it is a replacement. What is replacement? Let's say I buy a car. Every day will I buy a car? No. But if I buy a grocery, maybe every week when I'm buying vegetable, maybe every other day when I'm buying milk, every day those will come in routine buying, right? They are very low buying situation. Here, the frequency of buying is very high. Here, it is not very high. And even if I buy a car, I may buy two or three, not more than that, depending on what is my social economic standard, but I will not repeatedly buy it. Here, the price involved, the ticket is low. Here, it is very high. Yeah, so price of a car is not 10 rupees, 100 rupees, 1,000, 10,000, or some thousand. It's in lakhs. Then next is the risk factor. What will be the risk here? If I buy a grocery, let's say a milk, it
Nothing much.
will not work out, I
Very
will
less.
go out. I will not buy next time. But if I bought a car, do you think I can return it? I can, replace it? It's not that easy. Next is the dissonance, meaning the dissatisfaction. So here dissatisfaction will be low because I have not put a lot of effort, energy, time, money, risk. Here it will be extremely high. And I will go to any extent to see that I spread bad word of mouth. My involvement will be very high. The knowledge over here will be more vis-a-vis the knowledge. The knowledge will be less. Why? Because a car will have so many features. There will be so many brands of cars, so many models of cars. It's not practically possible for me to know everything, right? Because the scope of improvement, yeah, is very large vis-a-vis a milk. How much will be the attributes of a milk vis-a-vis the technical attributes of a car? It's very different. So the knowledge aspect also is very, low. Hence, a person would like to go through all the information, be extremely careful, be extremely convinced, and then take a decision. So time, money, everything involved is very high. Resource is very high. Hence, dissatisfaction will be high. Could I explain myself?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything else anybody would like to ask? Yeah.
So if we just have to classify it, it would be routine buying and high buying.
Middle is the limited one.
Yes.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, ma'am. Please carry on.
Yeah. So let me go through the PPT. Now we will go for the purchase decision. So any idea on the purchase decision? Now, when we make a purchase, we first try to again reconfirm. Why should we buy? Is it required? Reconfirming. Like for example, the other day we went to the mall over here. My husband decided we will go for a mobile. Almost day we were done, and then I then thought to myself, asked to myself, is it necessary to buy it? That too so immediately without going for a lot of survey. I'm a very rational person. Yeah, I take my own time. I always try to logically convince myself that there is a requirement. I already have two mobiles. Of course one of them is now outdated, But the one which, and I hardly use mobile, yeah, I don't use it so very regularly. And I don't use it for sophisticated purpose. Like, for example, neither I am an influencer, nor do I play a lot of games, nor do I watch a lot of things on mobile. Yeah. So therefore, I thought, why should I invest a lot of money? Can be a reason. So I reconfirm myself, right? Second is, and ladies do that. Let me tell you, they buy many irrational things, but then they sometimes feel, is it required? Is it required for making so much of investment? Next is when to buy. Is it that it's not that I will not buy a mobile, but I'm thinking this is not the right time. Maybe I will take my own time. Maybe I am waiting for, for Diwali or for some bumper discount. And the gentleman who was the manager of the Reliance Digital, he tried to allure me saying, Madam, if you buy today, third is the last day, and you will get a lot of discount, this, that. I said, thank you, I don't want to. Yeah. He could convince my husband, was unable to convince me. So that's when to buy. Next is with whom to buy. So let's say I'm going with my husband, with my kid, with my in-laws, with my old parents. Kids always disturb. Yeah, they don't give you a lot of time to think, to experience, to explore a product. And let me tell you, ladies, when they go to a physical store, they buy and they shop till they drop. They have the energy. They don't have energy to cook, but they have extreme energy to buy, shop, explore, do window shopping. They enjoy it. Of course, I cannot be generic. It's not that everyone enjoys it, but basically, it's seen through research that ladies would always shop till they drop. So, therefore, when you are going with a surrogate, let's say I'm going to a market to buy a apparel with my sister. I have almost made up my mind to pick up a particular apparel, but then she says, look, this does not look good on you. The color is not good. Yeah. So she may say, hey, let's wait. Let's look at some other store. So that means she's influencing me. So with whom am I going? Let's say I'm going with my old parents. So does the mall have enough, facilities wherein they can sit, they can relax, and I can buy? Does the mall have a facility of play station for the kids where I can drop them and I can peacefully make my purchase, right? So all these are very, very important for you to understand. Let's say I'm moving with a kid to a retail store. Yeah. Does your retail store have good display wherein the kid will get excited to buy the product? He will quickly catch hold of a product and say, this is what I want to buy. Is the display in that way? So you need to understand all the psychology of the people who accompany the real buyer. They are surrogate, they can influence. The next is where to buy from. So let's say I want to buy a laptop. So will I buy it online? Should I buy it from a retail store? Should I go for an exclusive retail store or should I go for a multi-branded retail store? Yeah. So will I go for it as Reliance Digital multi-branded? Should I go for exclusive, which is Samsung or let's say your Dell store? So it all depends on, or should I go online or will I go for a hybrid? So it all depends on the type of the person. The person should be given all sorts of choices.
So, ma'am, just one question. So, what does it mean? Like when we are trying to understand the buyer behavior.
Hmm.
So, as a marketer, when we need to survey, like we do market service,
Hmm.
that means with this kind of things, also questions we need to put in the survey. Normally, we don't take this kind of service, whom you are accompanied with, and all these points.
No, no,
Uh,
we need not to take a survey by asking them who you are. Sometimes I may be accompanied, sometimes I may not be. But observation, I can know.
okay.
Observations, I can know Gautam came with the wife, and there will be some mechanical device which will capture what was your behavior and the behavior of your wife. That we will discuss in detail when I deal with the chapter Consumer Insight and Research.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So when we are understanding where from I will buy, why did I say I will buy it online? Is it that for all type of product I would like to buy online? Well, I was just having I will not say an argument, but a difference of opinion. I said to my husband, I would not like to buy vegetables from Reliance. Reason being, the entire potato which comes up in a closed pack, half of them are rotten, which you will not be able to know from the pack. When I buy it from the open vendor, he gives me on credit. There is a relationship. I have the authority, liberty, and the freedom to choose them one by one. And if something goes bad, or there are some rotten, I can always tell him, look, this is what you had given. So that relationship does not appear in a in a mall, which is a modern retail malls or modern retail outlets. So therefore, if I'm giving importance to the quality of the product, I'm giving importance to feel, touch, see. Those are some of the things which we may decide. Or let's say I would like to interact with the salesperson, and just give me a minute. Just a minute. I think she has left and not told me. Yeah. So therefore, when I'm saying where from I will buy, like for example, I remember one of my known colleague who bought laptop from a retail store. He was very excited and allured because of the freebies. If it would have been me, I would not have, because I feel that if you are buying it from exclusive store, probably the authenticity of the spare parts or the products are credible. That's my perception. I may be wrong. So it's all about the perception of the consumer and the experience of the consumer. So let's say I go to a retail store, which is an exclusive retail store. So the salespersons are qualified, trained. There is space to sit. There are enough space for proper display. Yeah. And because I am sure that I will buy from Dell, I don't want to be, disturbed, or I don't want to divide my attention across other brands, because I'm sure I will buy Dell. So it's better I go to the exclusive retail store. Yeah. So you need to decide what are the factors which a person gives importance to, and then try to go for having different types of retail outlets.
Ma'am, same is true for buying medicines also, right? You prefer going to the pharmacist than buying it online.
Yes, yes, sure. I always do that. You know why? Because when I go to a particular medicine store, you rightly pointed out a good example. The medical store person who gives me the drugs, the medicine, the chemist, I know him. So if I give a call, he delivers it. If I don't use the medicine, I can return it. Yeah. And I can always tell him, why don't you give me 10% discount? Yeah. And also I can say, these medicines I did not use it. They are there, unused. Would you take it back and give me in exchange with that something else? So I can get lot of services from a particular store, and hence I try to endorse that store. Yeah, you
Ma'am,
are
in addition to this, this one more thing which is very important, which is number one, relationship with the pharmacist, and number two, you can always understand more about the drug and their reaction and everything in person with that person than buying it
absolutely,
online. And
absolutely. So let us say a doctor has prescribed a drug,
we're
and that
not that comfortable talking to a doctor in depth and detail while we
sure,
are
yeah, absolutely.
with pharmacist.
And these are the very minute things which you may not understand, but they do matter. Because I would not be able to go back again to the doctor and reconfirm. Maybe the chemist who is known to me would say, okay, madam, this is also equally the same composition, but a different brand. So no problem, you can go for this. And I believe him and I trust him. Absolutely. A relationship is something which is extremely important. But then there are people who would say, "Oh, look, I would not give importance to relation because I don't have time. So let me go for online. And I'm very comfortable. Maybe technically, they're very smart to buy anything online. Maybe I am not. So I would prefer to go for a physical. And there may be people who would like to go for a, hybrid, meaning the combination. Yeah. The next is how much to buy.
Ma'am, sorry to say, the different screen is getting presented in the screen.
I did not get you. Please come back.
Different screen of yours is getting presented, not the post one.
PPT, not the PPT.
Okay.
Your Gmail, ma'am. Your Gmail.
let me just sign out from the Gmail. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Sharing, just give me a minute. I will share the PPT once again so that I am able to show you the. Yeah. Is it the PPT which is now being shared?
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
okay.
Yeah.
Now it's okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. Now, next is your.
Ma'am, I have one question. The
Yes,
discussion which we were having a couple of minutes back. Say, if I'm getting a discount on online, if I'm buying a drug, say basically uh, the drug prescribed by a particular doctor.
Hmm.
If I'm getting a local store, if they're not offering discount vis-a-vis online store, online, if I'll buy online, if I'm getting some discount, do you really think that price also matters while making such decision?
Yes, sure, Mukherjee. Mr. Mukherjee, for you, price may matter. For me, it is the the time which matters. In the sense, I need the medicine immediately. So therefore, I will tell to the local vendor to get it to me. And he is very friendly. He gives it and delivers it and gives such type of service. For me, service is important. For you, price is important. So it differs from person to person. And also, Mr. Mukherjee, let's say I am trying to buy a machine for a BP checker. So maybe for that I can wait and I can go for buying it online because I have lot of varieties models available and this will be delivered. I have a price discount. So for that particular product, possibly I may go for a price discount. But for medicines which are regularly used, yeah, and which I cannot wait for a long time because it's a routine medicine. I have forgotten to get it. I can go for my local vendor. Yeah. Hence,
ma'am.
Mukherjee,
Hello.
it's more the
Ma'am.
sense that as a pharmacy company, since you know that an individual can behave in many peculiar ways, sometimes online, sometimes offline, sometimes combination, so therefore that makes more sense you should offer different retail channels.
Yeah, ma'am, this is Rohan this side. Just want to add one more point. Many a time, the influencer play a key role for the purchase decision. It might be possible we come up with some brand where we want to purchase, but with the help of the interacting with the influencer, we change our decision.
Sure.
Yeah. Secondly, many a time the bandwagon effect also play a very vital role for purchase decision. Is this true?
Yes, it is. So, for example, Mr. Rohan, if you are a person who is system one, meaning you go on intuition, you go for heuristic, you don't want to spend a lot of time and brain on that decision. So, heuristic is let's go for Tata. Anything of Tata is good. So, I haven't to exercise my brain. So, last time when I went to Smart Bazaar of Reliance, there were some new, spices, meaning masalas. I thought to take, then I thought, why should I go for a new masala and try it? And if it does not work, it's better I go for MDH or Tata. Yeah. So it all depends on the person whether he would like to go for a heuristic and therefore brand name works here. Or is a person who want to explore, experiment, then he will go for variety.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So if a person is going for variety, let's say I'm going for variety and it's something to do with
And ma'am, also one thing, just you have given the example of medicine, all those. So I think it's also depends upon the priority of the things as well, that I should spend more or not. Because if somebody is taken as example, there is some chronic disease, like he has to take some medicines daily basis, and that's a priority, then we will spend much more of money over there, rather than seeing the other websites where offer is happening and it will get delivered 2 days after that.
Yeah,
So is
there are
it?
different things
Yeah.
happening. You are right. For example, let us say we are four, which is me and Samir, Rohan, and Sudeep, let's say. So it so happens that I behave very peculiarly. Sometimes I go offline, sometimes I go online to buy medicines. Samir is a person comfortable buying medicines totally offline, right? Rohan is a person who buys it
Yes.
offline. And maybe Sandeep is a person who buys it only from the store which he has been buying for a long time. So
Mm,
it all depends on my priority, my preferences, and the need of the hour.
yeah.
Correct. For
Yeah.
example, just now said, let's say I am not a very planned, structured, systematic person. Let's say. So I forget that, oh, I should have taken this medicine, kept it in time, and there should have been stock. The other day we wanted some medicine, and my husband was just going through some of the medicines which I had kept. He said, oh my God, these are all outdated. Why you have kept it? I said, I had no time to throw them off. But there are people like, I remember my father, he's so systematic because he's chronic. So he used to take
Mm.
medicines regularly. So he will be listing medicines, keeping everything in account. And if he feels that because these are regular medicines, I'm very systematic, I have enough time to place the order, why not go online and get the, the discount?
Yeah.
Because he's going for taking medicine so much. And medicine costs are heavy costs. So it all depends. So therefore, as a company, you need to understand what are the different types of customers, how they behave, why do
Mm.
they go for a combination, when, why, where, all this should be answered by understanding consumers' insight, which is about the voice. That I will tell you how should we, go for getting the insight, knowing the market intelligence, consumer intelligence, how should we analyze these data. Said we will discuss that, but before
Okay.
that, I'm just giving you a framework so that you know.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so now how much should I pay? So should I pay, like for example, everything should I pay now? Like for example, when I was about to buy the mobile, which would cost me around some 40 plus, so I said 40,000 at a go, it's too much. The gentleman said, why don't you go for an EMI? So I said, okay, if I go for an EMI, I have to go for documentation, produce some of the documents, which I would not be comfortable to give. So it all depends upon the person. So my personality, if I'm a person who is very, not very advanced, not very, I would say, uh, it's I am not technically very smart, or maybe I'm a person who is very orthodox. So the person may think, no, let me not try to share all my information in terms of Aadhaar, driving license, blah blah blah. Correct. So EMI would not be comfortable for me, right? So maybe a company may say, fine enough, nothing has to be given, just you give your mobile number and get the EMI. So no document, no processing, easy EMI. So you can encourage me for the EMI, right? So how much to buy, what is the methods of payment, what will be the transaction, what will be the payment gateway, all these are important. I till date do not have way. Why? I'm not very, very, methodical or mindful in terms of my mobile, right? So I may keep my mobile here and there because I don't use it very regularly. And everything is there in my mobile. So anybody who gets my mobile will get to know about my emails, my SMS, my WhatsApp. Therefore, I would not like my mobile because it's almost compromised, keeping it here and there. But maybe Samir may be a person who is very systematic, very smart in technology, very, he feels that mobile gateways are convenient, so he may go for it. So as a seller, don't you think I'm also important to you? So give me options. Why always go for e-pay? You can go for having, net banking. You may go for having cash. You may go for having checks. You may go for having wallets, e-wallets or plastic cards. Yes, Sanyogita. Please go ahead.
Ma'am, I have a question. Does even fandom or fan following play a role in the purchase decision? Because, for example, Apple, Harley Davidson, these products have a lot of fan following.
Correct.
So irrespective, Apple is not upgrading or giving something disruptive. People are buying the phone. Yeah. So does it play a role? Is what I wanted to
Yes,
ask.
it is. It is. It really, really plays a heavy role. Why it plays a heavy role? Because you gave the example of Harley Davidson, right? HD. Madam, Harley Davidson is not meant for me and you. Anybody
Right.
who buys Harley Davidson has a peculiar personality. The personality is thrilling, exploring, adventure. Yeah. So when you have such type of personality and you associate it with a culture, it's a Harley Davidson culture. It's an American culture. It's a culture to explore, right? So Harley Davidson takes care of this particular concept, and therefore they build a lot of communities, fan followers, and events to see that those community remain, fresh, and something which would be, always sustained by the community members. So they have riders, annual riders, weekly riders, such type of events, and everybody cannot have access to these events. So it makes exclusivity. It has the element of, I would say, richness, prestige, yeah, which you and me would always aspire to aid, but possibly we are not able to. That's what they try to leverage on. Yeah, it does matter.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, so now method of payment, which I said, so should it be more to do with the electronic payment, a digital payment, a cash payment, a paper payment? What is the method of payment the person is comfortable with? And payment method should not be the only thing which you should be concerned about. It should be also about the terms and conditions. For example, let us say I would not like to make the payment. I would like to use the product and then make the payment. Is it possible? Or let us say I would like to make the payment as much as I want to. Yeah. So now there are a lot of new concepts in pricing. What are the new concepts? One is pay as much as you want. Next, pay after you use the product. Yeah. Pay in, in terms of whatever you can pay, afford to pay in buckets. So maybe this month I am able to pay more, next month I am not able to pay, the next month I will pay little less. So give me those options. So therefore, there is lot of scope and room, not only in terms of the objective pricing, which is to do with 200 rupees, 1 lakh, some money, which is MRP, but you need to also understand what are the methods, terms and conditions of payment. Like there are companies, what they do, they say, okay, we will give you discount, but under a condition. What is the condition? The condition is, would you assure me that you would buy next time? The condition is, can you bring somebody as a reference who would buy? The condition is, would you give us the assurance that you will next business will come to us? All these ifs and buts can also be roped in terms and conditions of payment. Yes, Arpita.
Ma'am, there are some certain pricing I have noticed, if you purchase for 3 months a thing, you will be saving, I think, 150 or 200 rupees. And we end up purchasing those things, giving extra money just to save that 100 rupees or 250 rupees. So that kind of also pricing offers we can see
Correct. Those
usually.
are emotional pricing. Yeah. So I
Yeah, yeah.
Arpita, say, Arpita, why are you buying one shirt? Buy two shirts and save, let's say, Arpita is a very rational consumer like me. Yeah. Anything which is to do with spending of money, I'm extremely rational. So Arpita, if it could have been me, so I will think, okay, I'm saving 200 at what cost? Yeah. So it's not that if I buy one shirt, I save 200. No. Condition is buy one shirt. You also have to buy the second shirt. Then only you will save 200. So for buying second shirt, I'm spending some amount. Then only I'm saving. So many people don't go for such type of analysis. They think, okay, with one something is free, which is a reduced price, and therefore they get allured and they buy. So
Yeah, ma'am, these offers usually we can see for the like Netflix and all, the Prime Videos, Amazon. They give such kind of pricing offers for 3 month or 6 month or yearly package kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. And there are very peculiar people, like, for example, in my case, sometimes I am not very rational because I'm so pressed with classes. So I forget. I will give you one example. I had a gift card. Was from ICICI, and this was given by our institute. We had three gift cards. One was having a load of 10, 10, and 5. So it was 25,000. I had spent from one to gift cards, but this third one I have not spent. Yeah. And therefore, I was not knowing how much I had kept. So the other day I went with the gift card, and when I was having the transaction, I recollected, oh my God, this was already expired, which was 23rd of September 2023. I noticed it in first week of October, maybe 3, 4 days back. Immediately I felt so bad. I said, oh my God, I have missed it, fear of missing, or something which was free. Why I did not? So I feel so guilty. So then what I did, I immediately checked and then requested, and somehow I could convince them, and they said, okay, no issues. We will be giving you, a new card, and whatever amount is left, you will. So now what happens? I have a good perception about ICICI Bank. Though I have no dealing, I have no transaction with them, I don't have any money or any account, but I have a good perception. So when I have a good perception, I speak in different forums. Yeah. So this also may influence somebody sometime. So maybe Mayank, who may be a brand manager, if he wants to give a gift card to his subordinates, possibly he may have a tie with ICICI Bank. So look over here, what type of a delight I got. I never expected they will help me in extending the card. It was almost more than 10 days, I believe. Yeah, so this is something which is so very nice, so very encouraging, so very, memorable. These I would cherish and share. Yeah. So therefore, the method of payment, you need to also understand the terms and the conditions. It's important to be understood. Yeah. Any questions? Yes, Rohan, please go ahead, and then Mayank, you have raised the hand.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I will just like to extend what you discussed. Even when I went with the Max for purchasing the t-shirts for my kid, they used to give us a discount coupon. So which help us to again go to Max and again purchase. So this process has started over a period of time. I was not a frequently buyer from the Max. Now I'm a regular user. So what I believe from the today's session is that a purchase means method of payment can also impact the purchase decision if we have some kind of comfortable method of payment or providing any kind of discount.
Correct. Yes, Rohan. Yes, Mayank, and then Amit.
Wanted to add one thing in the method of payment, which I feel Apple has introduced, wherein they have introduced no cost EMIs. They're not reducing the price of the product, but making it easier for the customers to buy it without paying the EMIs, without paying the interest. They've installed it in 6 or 7 installments, and you can pay it that way. That can
So
also be an
Mayank,
option.
you don't have you don't have the jurisdictions of reducing the price. At least you can negotiate in terms of the process, and that can be made happy. Absolutely, yes, yes. Let me give you another example. This is a personal example, but I will give the example after I take Amit's question. Yes, Amit.
No question as such, ma'am, but I wanted to highlight, the ICICI case which you have mentioned. So one was, the sense of fear when you lost, the time frame. The other was the sense of joy when you actually, the ICCI people have actually extended the time period and you had all the privilege to go and buy something. So here, I think the word of mouth plays an important role as an influencer. So let's say you will be talking about this in forum, maybe within your within the institute or within the family, which will create some sort of impact. And you're right, the people who will be buying, let's say, gift card to their family members, so they will be definitely focusing, okay, let's go for ICICI, right? That was one. And the other point was related to the purchase decision. The one thing which is missing here is the post purchase evaluation, which is a very important factor.
That I will
I'm sure you'll be covering. Yeah.
purchase decision. So I have that slide.
All right, perfect.
So that will come only after purchase decision.
Yeah, it's here. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Mukherjee.
I like to uh, add some more. I was not actually at one point of time very keen on using the credit card. Once the points gave me some gifts and some coupons vouchers, I started using it. So that also can be considered.
Yeah, anything. For example, when you are, to encourage some method, let's say people are not using a particular method, you need to encourage them to use it, right? So first of all, before encouraging, you need to know why they are not using. For example, in SBI has a UNO. It's an app, correct? So through that app, I can make payment. I can do so many things, but I never use it. Yeah. So why don't I use it as a SBI manager? You need to understand. So if you feel it's something to do with privacy, security, whatever, then maybe we can improve upon. Yeah, that's something you need to absolutely understand. Yes, as a marketer, you are right.
Ma'am, one great example for this is Paytm cashback. So, they incentivize, they brought cashbacks into place for the first time for the consumers to experience it.
Yeah.
And hook into
Yeah.
it. And now this is forever.
Yeah. No, but one thing, madam, generally what happens, the gentleman who said, madam, you had a point of joy. Sure, I had a point of joy. But remember, as per prospective theory, let me just explain you with the whiteboard. So there is a concept called prospective theory. So it says pain versus gain. Which one will you remember more, pain or gain? As a consumer, as a buyer.
Pain.
Gain,
Usually.
gain.
All are vouching for gain. Yeah. Let me see the chat. I think no. Okay, gain. Actually, we will always vouch for
Pain.
Pain.
Yeah.
Pain
No,
is
pain.
Usually.
remembered more.
100 good experiences and
100%.
one bad experiences. It's
This
all
will have more
All
impact.
social
down the drain.
all social media pages are filled with
Let us
pain, no
say
gain.
I gain 100 rupees. So while I was going on the road, I saw 100 rupees drop. I picked it up. I gained 100 rupees. Okay. After a while, I saw I have lost 100 rupees. Another day. One day, I am just traveling. I saw 100 rupees on the road. I picked up and kept it. After some day, I just checked my wallet. I saw 100 rupees is lost. This one will trouble me more than this. They are equal.
Right.
I will remember, feel very uncomfortable because I have lost it. So till I was able to address that loss of my gift card, I was not comfortable. Yes. So always remember, do not give pain. If you are not able to give gain, do not give pain. Pain will be always remembered and remembered more. Yeah. So therefore, that is something which you need to be extremely careful. Yeah. Any other question? Let me see any other questions. No raise of hand. And some of this, I will go to the next point. Okay. So we will go to the slide and let me again share the slide. Okay. So we talked about why, when, with whom, where, how much, what is the method and all these things. So for a marketer, on each of these points, you can design your strategy, you can design your action plan, you can design your, plan of action. So for example, why to buy? So if a person is not able to get the reassurance, should I buy, not buy, rene do, some other time, how can you reassure the person? Oh, this is the best choice you have made. You will not feel guilty. There will be no, rejection, or I would say there would be no regret. You need to assure that. How would you do that as a marketer? Any idea how would you do that? Yeah. Next, so I will put certain questions you have to think, and then I will come back again to this. Next is when to buy. So I'm thinking when to buy. I will not buy tomorrow. I will not buy today. Let me wait for some time. So as
We can give 100% money return guarantee without any asking any question. Lot of courses do that.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good example. So for example, if somebody says, okay, you buy, if you feel it's not good, we give you 100%, no return question, no question return policy, can be, or we guarantee you if you're not satisfied, we will return you the entire money. Yeah, those are good things. Or we give you an extended warranty. Yes. Rohan, yeah, please go ahead.
Now, what I
I'm
believe is that
extremely sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, my video got paused. Could you please repeat the question once?
Yeah, what I'm saying,
I'm so
Maya,
sorry.
why when I'm buying something, I'm asking to myself, why should I buy? Should I buy? Rehne do, some other time.
Okay.
There is an element of guilt, there is apprehension that I may land into wrong decision, I may regret. How, as a marketer, you can take care of all these elements? Yes, Rohan.
yeah, ma'am, what I believe is that first point that I will always think is whether it is a need of urgency or not. That will impact my buying process.
Correct. So how can you infuse urgency? In my mind, I'm saying in
Ma'am,
consumer mind. Yeah.
there are multiple things that will be having in my mind. Which should I buy? So I will categorize them, which is more important or which is more urgency. On that basis, I go ahead with the decision.
Mhm. No, Rohan, what I'm saying is, when I went to Reliance Digital, Mr. Sunil, who was the sales manager, he was trying to convince me, madam, go for the mobile. If you buy it today, because 3rd October, that's the last
Limited
day, you will get some discount,
limited
which
period.
will be good discount. Why not buy? He could not convince. I came out, I never went back. Because I felt, why should I buy now? There is no way to buy now. Waste of money. Not urgent. Hmm. In that scenario, what should you do? How to convince me?
Is
How
the
it can
features,
be?
Maybe give.
is it with the features which the phone you are holding, the features over there, it is enough or not? That is the main differentiation point. Like the phone you are holding right now is some 12 features, but the phone is coming up over there, he is projecting there is might be 20 or 25 features over there, that is might be a one.
Good, Das, Mr. Das. So now, first of all, Mr. Sunil has to probe. Why is this lady trying to feel, think, the guilt or apprehension? Why to buy a mobile? Waste of money, I already have, blah, blah, blah. So once you understand, possibly this lady thinks, I already have a mobile, why to go for a mobile? Maybe you can say the mobile which you have is a 2G, 3G. You should operate a mobile which is 5G. You are teaching, which you are doing online. These features will help you. It will give you a lot of advantage and benefit. But then I will ask him, no, no, Mr. Sunil, if I have to upgrade it to 5G with my current SIM, it requires a lot of effort. I have to go to Airtel, I have to get it upgraded. It needs time. I don't have time. So in that, so through probing, you need to understand what is that which is very, very important. Please remember, what is that which is making the person decided already to buy but not buying. So that's an important phase which I have not shown you in my slide. So therefore, please let me reiterate. So what did I say? I said that the decision journey starts with need recognition, search for information, evaluation of options, purchase decision. I will go for post-purchase action. This I will go for, I have not gone for. This is a very important phase which I have not pointed out, which is called intention and no action, meaning no purchase decision. So if there is a gap, so I intended I will go for a Samsung mobile phone. Everything was decided, thought, talked. Almost they were about to should get the pack which had a particular color which I wanted. But then I said, okay, Mr. Sunil, I will think and then get back to you. Yeah. So I left the retail store and have not gone till date. So that means even if I had the intention, I made up my mind, it never got culminated to action. There is a gap. As a brand manager, you will never appreciate this gap. You will always want to see that intention should immediately result in action, get converted to action. So why I am not taking an action? As a marketer, how can you help me? So the why element over here was I feel as of now there is no need for a new mobile. So as a salesperson, you need to make me understand what would be the benefit and advantage if I go for a new mobile. So मैंने इधर क्या बोला? The conflict. Approach, avoid, approach, avoid. Yeah. So if I am saying I have a mobile approach, I want to avoid the new mobile. Please work on this avoid, this one. Why the person is avoiding to buy a new mobile which has better technology. Yeah. So ladies like me, we always have a guilt. I have already spent 30 plus thousand. 5 years back, this mobile dropped from my hand 2 times. I have spent 5,000, which makes it again expensive. 5,000. So 30,000 plus 10,000 is 40,000. So according to mental accounting, a person like me will make a book of account in my brain, not like finance people who will make a mental accounting in the record, books of record. Mentally, I will be evaluating, processing. Okay, I had spent 30 plus when I bought the product. It's hardly 5 years. I bought it in 2018, I believe. I have spent 5,000 when it got dropped from my hand. Again, I have spent 5,000 second time when it got dropped. So 40,000 plus. I have not used it for 5 years. According to me, who belongs to a particular generation, at least I should use it for 10 years. I'm not like Mayank or Arpita, those who are current generation. Chalo, theek hai, buy one, get, throw it next. I'm not of that generation. So for such a typical type of customer, what should you do so that he buys or she buys the new set of mobile? So one way is you can say, madam, This, so try to understand her behavior, her psychology, her mindset, and then say, okay, sir, madam, your mobile has dropped 2 times. It may again drop third time, and it will break again 5,000. The new
Ma'am, I think
it will not break.
we can ask, we can try to understand the objective why the person want to purchase, which lead her or him to the store to purchase a new mobile. So the moment you will understand the exact actual objective of buying that product, you can pitch that product. You can convince the customer to purchase that product properly and resolving the solution rather than selling that product.
Correct.
So
You're right. You're right.
So when it is already dropped, we can tell the customer that already you have spent it so much of money, and next time if it is dropping, I don't think you will get. It will be a big loss for you. You will lose all kind of data and everything from your mobile. So before it happens, you can get a proper mobile. And although there is a 3rd of October, as you said, so there will be a pricing offer is also going on. So it is good that you are getting all the features as well as in your budgeting thing. So that way we can convince the customer to purchase a new mobile.
Yes. So Arpita, customer A is funny customer like me, and customer B is a very smart customer in the sense customers like you. Are 5 years I've used the mobile. Let's go for a new one. Yeah. You people think a mobile in the hand, Apple mobile will make me smart, will keep me contemporary. I've been using mobile, I have a lot of money, I can spend on it. So you are not a person who will be spending his time, head, energy on just a set of mobile. Yeah, but I'm a person who feels I should not spend money on mobile. I hardly use it. I have bought it, but dropped it 2 times. Yeah, I don't use it. I think I should buy something maybe for my family members rather than for me. So there are many things which are happening in my mind. Yeah, it's not only one reason. So what you need to do is a customer like me, you need to understand, can I do something in terms of FAB pitching, which means feature, attribute, benefit. Meaning, as a lady, what is the benefit I will get and what is the cost advantage I will get if I go for a new set of mobile. So benefits can be 2 types, which is called functional, the other is called psychological. And the costs are of 2 types, monetary cost and non-monetary. So you can hit at anything, but it depends upon which would suit me. So functional benefit may be something which would be appropriate for customer A. Psychological benefit which would appropriate for customer B. Why? Customer A is a rational customer. So she will think or he will think, okay, I already have a mobile. Why should I go for a mobile? I have not used it to the extent I have paid for it. So I will not go for it. But customer B, oh, I have used the mobile 5 years. Now I should go for a new one. So you can always say, Apple has come up with a new version. Why not go for having something which is trendy? Having something which you would be the first one to use it. You belong to a particular category. Yeah. So those are psychological benefits which you can pitch. But for me, psychological benefit will not work. For me, it's functional. Functional means you can always say, madam, your mobile is a mobile which may drop and you may break it. Your mobile is old, so you cannot have certain apps or certain features which you can use for your online classes or things like that. It is not operating in the 5G, your mobile is in the 2G, functional. Did you get me? So you understanding the customer, you will pitch it. Now let's come to the cost. Let us say this is a rational customer who gives a lot of importance to the money. So I have already spent 30,000 plus 5 and 5 in the last 5 years, 40,000. No. Then what you can do, you can go for monetary benefit. What is monetary benefit? You can say exchange the old mobile, take the new mobile, you will get a good exchange offer. Yeah. So that means my mental accounting is now settled. So what I was thinking, so I have spent 40,000, I have not used it to that extent. Now it is giving me a feel, ठीक है, that leftover value, because I have spent 40, kitna ba, 40,000 plus over, I bought it in 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 5 years is also not complete. So there is a huge value from this product which I have not utilized. So when I exchange it, I feel at a reduced cost, this value has been now balanced. I will feel comfortable and relaxed to buy the new. So go for a combination of functional benefit with the monetary cost in this scenario. Did you get me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You can also go for a non-monetary cost. For example, you can say understanding the lady, or you can go for functional, monetary plus non-monetary. What is non-monetary? Non-monetary is, madam, the hassle of the security, the privacy, the different layers of security which the new gadget has is a non-monetary. You haven't to bother much. It has lot of layers of security. Even if there is a fraud or some amount of goofer, this will protect you. And this lady is not very smart in handling such type of things, so therefore it might appeal him or her. So understanding the mind, you can go for pitching the product. Any questions?
Oh, ma'am, we can also add the insurance value to suppose it gets break, then it can, you can replace it at a lesser cost.
Yeah, that happened once when I was going for buying the smartphone for this phone only. So they said, madam, go for making an insurance. It costed me some extra. I said, I'm not interested. But yes, you are right. There may be people who would be, let's say, Apple phone, which is extremely costly. Yes, yes, you can. Good. Okay, Sakshi, I will take the question from Sakshi and Mukherjee, and then we'll go for a small break. Yes, Sakshi.
Good morning, ma'am. I just wanted to ask, there are certain customers who actually don't come as a shopper, as a real shopper. They come for window shopping. So is there any particular way how to convince the non-prospective customer to a buying customer?
Yes, yes. Yeah, we will discuss. Yes. Yeah, what about Mukherjee? Mr. Mukherjee?
Madam, we use customer usage experience, which we give them a free usage of a particular feel of the product, and if he or she has a wow feeling out of it, even maybe he might have not planned for the buying the product, he can go ahead for the product. Means
Yes,
test
yes.
drives, car test drives, and all
Correct,
are
correct. So
basically for that on.
that input is related to Sakshi's question. I will take that question. It's a relevant.
Right.
Yeah, it is a relevant question. We will discuss that. Yeah, I will definitely do. Yes, Gautam?
So actually, Sukhdeep ji have given the answer to Sakshi's question.
Yeah, okay. In the chat? No. So anyways, I will take the question which was a relevant question and answer it. So let's go for a small break. Now it is 11:30, almost 11:40. We should be back by 11:40, 12, and before 12, maybe 5 minutes to 12, right? Yeah. Yes. And I will answer her question, and then we will go for the next phase of purchase behavior, which is post-purchase experience.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so she said if a customer is coming to the retail outlet but not buying, the purpose is to explore. How can you convert this person to actually buy? Was the question. So can anyone answer before I answer? Hmm.
Yeah, like what Sukhdev ji was saying, I'll just reiterate that. Giving them the wow feeling, giving them feeling of, instead of exploring the products, how does product makes them feel, why not a free trial and see how it looks? Maybe a photo click with the dresses, maybe a photo click with the products, or maybe if it's a food product, try out a spoon or kind of a thing. So once you experience that, get a feel for a couple of seconds, you probably will think to go ahead for a purchase, maybe try, maybe not now, maybe in future.
Yeah. Yes, Asta.
Maybe creating a FOMO would help, fear of missing out. If not now, then because already since you're there.
Okay. What else? What else could be the reason and why they are not buying? Yes, Tara.
So, ma'am, this actually happened with us as well while we were doing the shopping for electronics. So, what they did is like if you buy today, then you get the added accidental warranty or something, which might not be the case when you come and buy later. So, the thing is, the perceived or the value of that product, estimated value of that product decreases mentally. So something like that, if you create in the buyer's mind that bank offers are there, I'll match the exact online price like Chroma does it. I'll match it the best price right now you are getting. So it's like then the customer thinks like, okay, instead of buying after a month, I'll go and buy it. And additionally, adding that I'll take your old washing machine or I'll exchange it today itself. So I'll give the value for that as well today. So something like that.
Yes, Mayank.
So, ma'am, maybe providing a limited period offer, maybe saying that we are giving a very substantial offer, a higher price product at a very lower rate, and the offer would expire in say 2 or 3 days. So you need to buy today itself to avail that offer.
Yes, Jayaprakash.
Yes, yes, officer. Exactly, this is the position of the buying behavior of the consumer. The target audience is a direct selling or indirect selling, whatever may be. It's a fact that whether the consumer or customer, he may be the consumer, or he may be the consumer, he may be the customer. So exactly to someone is a window customer, someone who is listening someone's talk and he or he can be motivated throughout our understanding to the other customers how we are educating our brands regarding all the benefits and what are the bank benefits. That's the different matter. Where first we have to target the consumer, what is the benefit for buying this product. Later, after if he decided, then it's come to the banking and other benefits. How can we provide that? If the cost is very high, then how can we provide him the easy EMIs or like anything else? So first we have to target the whether we can judge the consumer whether the consumer is satisfying with our conversation or product knowledge or not. Then he can maybe the chances of buying the as a Windows customer.
Okay. Anil.
Thank you.
I think, ma'am, we should create the extended warranty period for particular product. For example, if he's buying a company is giving, for example, he purchasing some kind of Samsung TV or something, where the company is providing 1 year offer, service offer, free of cost. Why don't we keep for an extended period of offer of 3 years by our by customers? Extended warranty period that will maybe attract some kind of customer.
Yeah. So all of you just think of situations where you people went, maybe yourself, friends, your relatives, wife, children, anybody, and you never had decided to buy, but then you landed buying. Just recollect those situations. What made the person buy? You never thought you will buy. What made the person buy? So first one is all about window display. Your window display is so attractive that it makes the person just go explore, and then maybe the person would end up buying the product. So window display has to be extremely beautiful. It should be extremely I would say, it should not appear as if, last month I came, I saw the same window display, this month I came, same window display. Possibly this retail store is not able to sell. right? So newness in the window display, proper way of window display is one thing which would allure the person and convert them. Second is about the assortment. So all about assortment. What is assortment? Let's say I am going to one store. I'm just exploring, seeing things, trying to understand, learn what are the new arrivals, just mood enhancement, or maybe there are many reasons. First of all, you need to know what are the reasons why people just loiter. So I remember when we were in Florida, it was so, and we went to Miami. So in the sea beach while we were returning, it was so hot. We thought let's go to some AC retail outlet and get some cold air. So we went to the AC and we spent some time without thinking we will buy some product. So therefore, some of the reason can be people just want to come in and have a fresh feeling, or maybe interact with a social a salesperson for the social interaction, or maybe just to learn, explore, yeah, or mood enhancement, any n number of reasons. So this is the rather I would say this is the opportunity to take the person go through the buying process, not only exploring. So let us say I'm just going through and exploring. I come across a product which I think it's a new product, it's a new arrival, it's a unique product. I have not seen this product in my town, in my city. So your product assortment should be such that there has to be a uniqueness in the assortment. It's not that the same assortment is there for years together. Bring in some newness and have a dedicated place for the display of such product so that a person can see it and cannot ignore it. Then whatever element you people have said, I agree with it, like FOMO, meaning fear of missing. If you don't do it now, you miss it. So add on the element of urgency. Please do it now. If you don't do, you miss. Later on, you will feel guilty. You can also add on the element of scarcity. It is only available for a particular period of time. This is only for a particular, and later on it will not be available. So all these things, urgency, scarcity, can add on to FOMO. Also give them some element of deal will always attract them. So deal should be properly displayed. Like if you are writing up to 50%, people would think all products may not be up to 50%, right? So go for a discount offers which are very, I would say, very quick in comprehension. So if you say product which was 100 rupees now are available at 30 rupees, so it's something which is so impactful, so salient, that it drags a person to the counter and make him feel or think or explore or buy. Also sometimes which is called as other customer. So when you I remember when I went to a retail store, I was just exploring some sort of saris, which one should I buy. So I was taking my own time, undecided. Possibly the salesperson thought she is confused, he may not buy. So what he did was, other customers who were also there to buy, he said that, madam, would you like to buy this sari? If you're not interested, then I will give it to the other one, meaning the other customer who is almost ready to buy it. So if you are not buying, then it goes to her. So something of that sort also can be infused when you are going for trying to influence the environment which enhances the purchase. So it's all about the psychology, the environmental display, all these matters, and hence you can convert a person who is not decided, confused, or just exploring to buy. Could I answer the person who had asked me?
Yes, ma'am, to an extent, but I certainly feel that I think sales force should be trained in such a way that they should understand the psychological need of the customer.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Because if I talk of Vijay Sales or Chroma, then all the salesmen or all the salespeople who are on the floor will not be have the um, same jinx to read the minds of the customers. So my question was certainly was very general to understand, like to a layman, for a person like salesman who's a 12th pass student, who is not an MBA graduate, but he needs to identify that whether the customer is a prospective customer, or is there any way I can turn that customer into a prospective customer.
So sometimes body language says that some person is not in mindset to buy the product. If you can understand that body language, I would suggest not to intervene because it would be an interference to my privacy. I have just gone there to explore, so don't disturb me. So you need to understand the body language. If the body language says they are very casual, you have different types of customers. We say different types of shoppers. So there are shoppers who are planned shoppers. There are shoppers who are shoppers who just want to explore and learn. There are shoppers who are confused. So it all depends upon the body language. Try to understand what type of shopper they are. If you feel they are confused, help them. They will definitely buy. If these are people just to spend some time, relax, enhance their mood, talk to the salesperson, not serious to buy, I think it's a waste of time not to explore and interfere into their mindset. They would not like. I remember in Indore, people will come out from the shop and say, "Bhabhi ji, kuch lena hai." I feel irritated. I don't like people saying and coming and pressurizing me to buy. I will make my own mindset. Yeah. So you need to understand the body language. Many salespeople are very effective. If they see a person has just come to explore, maybe they will come an inch, maybe ask one question. If they figure out no, you are not comfortable, they will go back. They will not intervene. Yeah. So it's not necessary every time you should make a person forcefully go for a product. They are exploring, let them explore. Maybe they will come some other time. But if a person is confused, then so you can. Yeah. And it also depends
Yes, ma'am.
on the type of the product. If it is a food product, like one of the this is a retail outlet which was all about cakes and candies and things like that. So we Indians, we try and then we go, yeah. So they had so many candies, so many cakes, which I tried. Not only one cake, so many. So what happens when I try one, two, three, four? They are not saying anything. They are observing. I also feel guilty. I'm only trying, not buying. This is called as one another concept, which is called reciprocity. What is
Yeah, ma'am.
reciprocity? Yeah. So if I
Mapro does that, ma'am.
if I'm eating 3, 4, 10 variety of cake, and there are salespeople sitting over there and observing me, I feel I should reciprocate at least by buying a small amount of cake. And I ultimately bought one cake after trying 10. Yeah. So that's called reciprocity. Meaning, if you are giving me something, I should also give you that. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Even Mapro does that. Mapro has the tasting things for each and every product which is there in the supermarket or in its store. So people taste it, and even though they didn't like it, or if they like it, they just force. I mean, your taste buds force you to buy them. Okay, I liked it. I should have at least one piece or one packet for me.
No, but one thing is that now when I'm saying the element of reciprocity, the reciprocity should be volunteer. Like I said, the example of Thailand. In Thailand, ever if you people visit, they have lot of demos in food counters. Yeah, so many
Right.
products, and there are people who only go to explore the Mufat ka free. They will go to different counter, eat, fill up their stomach, buy nothing. Particularly, you can understand who can be. But then when there is a lot of choice, I do it many times. One time I will give, mind will give me a signal. You are every time coming, trying and going, trying. Don't you think you should also have an element of reciprocity? So sometimes if you force, no, and you will be wetting, madam, you tried the product, should you not buy? That would not work. So give the element and a sense of, an attitude of gratitude, something in return of reciprocity, it will work out. You should have that patience as a salesman. Every time, don't force upon. Yeah. Particularly people in Mumbai, they don't like if you force them. They will take their own decision. Yeah. The culture is something which is important. Don't interfere. Americans don't like things if you interfere, impose, force. They don't like it.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah. So body language reading, that's very important. Probing, that's equally important. Don't go for force. Make the element of, as I said, window display, assortments, dedicated space, urgency, scarcity, reciprocity, and also tell what other customers are doing. They are buying. People will feel if so many are buying, there must be something good. So why not me trying it? So try to have such type of elements which will help you for the purchase of a product. And sometimes if people don't buy, don't be little so very tensed. They will not, they are not buying every time, they may not buy, sometimes they will buy. have some element of liberty. Leave it to the customers. They will do it. Yeah. So yes, Anil. Yes, ma'am. I'm coming. Anil. I think he's not there. Yes, Mayank.
Ma'am, just wanted to ask you one thing, that how will we implement this strategy in case of online sales or digital sales? Because most of these fundas are direct one-on-one contact, which we don't have in digital field.
Sure.
So
So
how will we do that?
good. So in digital, what happens now? Like for example, I am watching a movie or a program or whatever. So many times I have seen you have to understand when a need gets triggered. So while I'm watching a program, any serial, Istanbul serial, Pakistani serial, Indian serial, any serial, I see, oh my God, this actress is looking so good on this, get up, on this makeup, on this sunglass, on the apparel. So if there is a feature wherein I can stop, I can click, that takes me to the landing page, I can buy, that's one way how you can do it. The second way is now there are online wherein we say as e-commerce, social commerce, live commerce, live streaming, all those. So here what happens, one of the influencer whom you follow, so let's say there is an influencer whom you follow and there are many followers this influencer has, so he will be very categorically planning which event he will host, what type of brands and products he will rope on, in with or tie up with, and what happens during those events, he will be coming live, he will be giving the demonstration of the product, there will be people, meaning the followers, who will be asking him questions, he will be answering them, there will be people who will be buying on the spot. You see those people buying, you get things clarified, you see your own influencer using the product. They will be only talking about product which they use. So any questions you have, any doubt which you have, you can get it clarified. You also see herd culture, meaning other followers buying it online on the spot. You also buy it. That's another way of making people buy. Yeah. Another way of buying is group buying. So in China, this is a very popular culture, which is called Groupon. So Groupon is an online platform wherein it always tries to, entice consumer, allure consumer, encourage consumer to form a group and buy products because they get heavy discounts. Not only that, they also know that, oh, these people are buying. So it gives you a assurance, and you can always get socialized, connected, you can check with them, you can get it clarified, you can always get back to those people. So such type of Groupon or group buying helps. So let's say I want to buy, we are buying as a family, my mother, my sister, me and other members, certain types of groceries. So if we buy online on a particular day in a specific period, we get huge discounts. Yeah. Yes. Any questions? Any more question?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
So we will go to the next.
Ma'am, I had a question.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, my question was that, like, for certain customers or consumers, for example, I want to give my own example. I was pretty clear what product I wanted to buy when I was looking for a front load washing machine to replace my earlier washing machine. So I did all the research. I chose the washing machine, the color, everything. Then I looked online also. I went to stores like Reliance also and Chroma also. And I searched online on Amazon also. Usually from Flipkart, I don't buy. I'll go for only Amazon if I have to buy from online. So I saw it there. I even saw it on the Samsung online store and the Samsung offline store. So, but when I went to the Chroma or Reliance, the model I was looking for, like for example, 6.5 kg was not there. But while on the Samsung online store, they were providing it. And I bought it from Amazon. I went to the store and I told them that if you are giving me a price that is lesser than Amazon, I will buy it from here, because I see the washing machine also. I get to see it. That physical experience is there in a store. So I prefer buying it from a store, like when it comes to washing machines or appliances like that. So I'll not go for a online purchase. But both the stores were not able to give me that price which Amazon was providing. So ultimately, I chose Amazon and I bought. But when Amazon delivered it, there was a fault in the product also, and then that return and all was very cumbersome process. It was a very cumbersome process. Now, for a consumer like me, what I want to know is, if I go to the store and I'm asking them that, can you give me a competitive price or a lesser price than Amazon? How can such a customer who is already a lead, he doesn't want any benefit or USP, he doesn't want to know anything, but he has to be converted. It is a lead that can be converted with a deal.
It's a very straight, sharp example. So therefore, I can give you the answer, say, Gita. So in this case, if I would have been a retailer, I would not have bowed down to your request, meaning I would not have sell at a price which I am not able to. Because as a storekeeper, I don't have that scope to reduce the price. You need to understand. And also, a storekeeper has an operational cost. So I cannot pay it from my pocket. However, having said it, there are 2, 3 ways how I can do it. One, did you speak to the manager of the store, or did you speak to the sales representative? That's extremely important, because manager has some authority, representative does not. Second is, if it is a sales rep, he would have said, here Arpita, if you are buying it from online, these are the nuances which you will be facing. If you are comfortable, please go ahead. So fear, infusing fear. I remember when I went for going for a financial instrument, I told to Mr. Sameer, you are not giving me some discounts, whereas the other gentleman is giving me. So Sameer smiled and said, Madam, you are free to choose and go to that gentleman, but let me make you aware, since we have been having relationship, and I think you are not aware, these are some of the things you may come across, which may be a pain point. Choice is yours. So when he infused this fear, which was a fact, I rejected the idea to go to the third party, and I had it from Sameer. So, Arpita, the sales rep should have said, Madam, when you are buying such type of items from online, A, B, C, D are the demerits.
Okay,
However,
ma'am.
if you
Yeah.
feel that you want a negotiation, please wait, let me connect you with the sales manager. Sales manager has some capacity to go for out of the way discount. They do that.
Ma'am, but when I went to the store, they said this, that I will talk to the manager and give you a call. They even spoke to the manager, and then they told me, we will not be able to. Chroma told me that we are very good at service. So by taking from this store, you will have that benefit of service whenever you want. That was a very good point. And I learned a lesson that buying from Amazon, it's very cumbersome if the product is defective. So ultimately, I did not buy from the store. I bought from the Samsung store, online store, and the packages and all was so good that the product was like undamaged, or even, beautiful it was. The product was good, the service was good. So, I learned a lesson, and I decided either I go and buy from a store which provides service, or I buy from the company's online store, not from Amazon for these products.
Yeah, I was just about to come and tell you about that. That if I would have been, the third option is, if I would have been a retail store, I would have said you are compromising on service, which you will not get in a faceless platform. And if you are comfortable with that, okay. So I may infuse the fear and leave it to you to take a call. Yeah. So
Yes,
therefore,
ma'am.
we need to understand how we can play, underplay, overplay, because there are things which you overlook. So as a buyer, you overlooked after sales service significance.
Yes, I did. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, this is Sanyogita, not Arpita.
So sorry. Okay, we will go to the next slide, which is to do with post-purchase. This is extremely important. So when we are talking about post-purchase, what type of action do you take? For example, I have placed an order online, I'm waiting. So what action do you take? You are very eager, you are eagerly waiting, you keep a track of it, you check every time, you keep yourself available during the time it will be delivered, and blah, blah, blah. If you are buying it physical, so what it is, you go buy and you quickly try to go for immediate gratification, unboxing it, using it immediately, right? So these are something wherein you are waiting anxiously, eagerly. If that is so, what is your experience at that juncture? The experience is, you are waiting, the product is not delivered. If the product is delivered, when you unbox it, you see something else. When you start using it, you are not satisfied. Now, when you think I will return it, there is a lot of hassles in the process. So there are so many things in the post-purchase action. First of all, you need to understand the experience element. Is the experience something which is dissatisfied? satisfied or delighted. Now, when are you dissatisfied? You will be dissatisfied when the expectation and the experience, they don't match. Meaning, you have communicated, made the promise, claimed you will be doing something which you did not do. So, who has set the expectation? You yourself, the marketer, the seller, the salesperson. Why did you do that? So you need to think, should we over promise or should we under promise? Second is you are satisfied. So whatever was promised, is it delivered? Yes, it is. So therefore you are satisfied. When you will have a delight, like in example of ICICI, I never expected they will help me, that too so promptly and quickly. So that means the expectation what I had and the experience meaning what I experience is far ahead. So therefore I'm delighted. The question is, should every customer be delighted? Every instance they should be delighted? You need to question to yourself, because delight is at a cost. Yeah, like for example, ICICI Bank will renew me a new card. It's expensive. They will use a courier service to deliver the card to me. These are all costs. Why should they do that? I don't have any account in ICICI. So therefore, you need to understand why is it that they went for a delight. It's because it was a institutional gift card. It was not an individual gift card. So next time when I am in law, goes for a gift card, they will definitely go for ICICI because the users, meaning the faculty and the staff, are extremely satisfied and therefore they are comfortable. So you need to understand when should you go for a delight. You need to understand when you may be okay with satisfied customer. But for that, first of all, you need to work on expectation. How do you set expectation? So for example, if you go to Disney, they will never tell that the waiting is 20 and deliver at 30 hours. No. If it is 20 minutes, it will be delivered far ahead, meaning before 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, 18 minutes, 17 minutes, never 20 minutes or 22 minutes. But I have seen many times when we are waiting in the queue, let's say in a retail store, my God, what a huge queue. Nobody will like to stand in the queue. And waiting is a psychological disaster and discomfort. So therefore, should you not under promise and deliver? I have seen certain clinics, they will be making that ticker 19 minutes. So you may be waiting, oh, there is a few more minutes to wait, but ultimately your name will be called. So you're surprised, delighted, and it's a positive delight. So therefore, you need to navigate it accordingly. Yes, Mr. Mukherjee. Yeah.
One of the pizza boys started doing this. Pizza, if it is not delivered within a particular time, they'll give a pizza free. And they actually gave me a pizza free. Means my son actually liked it very much.
Even for that matter, subways, what they do, they have a standard operating procedure. They maintain certain menu, not a huge host of menu because it complicates the process, and then they deliver things on time. So if you make your process, your product, it very standardized, then you will be able to delight customer because you provide them what you promise. Yeah. Yes. Any other example?
Even Amazon these days, when you buy something from Amazon, they'll give you the shipping date 3 or 4 days in advance. So if you buy it on 30th, it'll say 7 and it'll reach you before 7.
Ma'am, there is a catch over here. Sometimes if you have said that the product will be delivered on 15, you deliver it on 12 and there is no one at the door.
But
Yeah.
usually they give you a call before.
What you can do is you can always give a reminder or maybe an update that this will be delivered, and if you are available, sign up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, now we need to understand there are certain things which will delight you, and there are certain things if you give, it does not delight you. So you need to be extremely careful. Let me use the whiteboard to explain my point. Like for example, let us say there are certain feature X, Y, Z, W. Okay. Now you think if I give X, people will be delighted. If I provide X, which may be a prompt service. But if you give a prompt service, they will not be delighted. If you do not give, they will be dissatisfied. Yeah, you need to be careful. There are some features, if you do not give, they will be not dissatisfied, not. But if you give, they will be satisfied. So there is a lot of combination, what you should give, what you should not give. So there are three layers. One is must be. You should give. If you don't give, people will be dissatisfied if you do not give. But if you give, they will not be delighted or satisfied because they think it should be given. Why you are not giving? If you have given, you have not done a big thing. That is must be. Then there are attributes, features, experience, services. If you give, this is called as a hygiene factor. If you give, it's good because you should give, and that makes the product different. And there is a motivational, feature. If you give, people feel delighted. If you don't give, they're not dissatisfied. But if you give, it's extremely good. Example. For example, let's say if you attend my class, you never expect that I will give you some free books. Yeah. But if I give you some extremely enlightening books, you are delighted. If I don't give, you will not be dissatisfied. Yeah. Now, what is must be? Must be is if I'm not giving you a chance and opportunity to ask questions, you will be dejected. You will be frustrated. But if I give everyone chance to speak, that does not mean they will be delighted. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So, as a brand manager, you need to understand, depending on your target audience, which is extremely important, what will be must be, what will be delighted, and what will be a motivational feature. So, good, best, better. So, good to give, a must be. Better is if you can give something which satisfies. Best is the delight because it will be costing the company to delight the customer. So should I delight all the customer? Not necessarily. Only those customers who are valuable. Yeah. So maybe I would delight customers who give me a lot of business transaction. I will delight customers who are potential customers. Maybe I will delight customers who are really preferential customers. So everyone I will not delight. No one should be dissatisfied. I should strive either towards satisfaction or move few of the customers towards delight. Now, that was all about the way when you will be setting delight, dissatisfaction, and things like that. Now we will go for the next, which is on action. So if you see, I have written action. What is action in post-purchase? Action is a person, let's say I'm not satisfied. Do I act? I may remain silent. I will not tell to anyone. I will not do anything. Just I will feel, oh, this was not a good experience. That much. Another action will be, I will boycott, meaning I will never ever go for such a brand in my life. Just boycott, and this will be private action as far as I am concerned. I may go for a public action. What is public action? I may write to the CEO, I may put it on the YouTube, I may write an email, yeah, I may tell to others, to everyone that this is a bad product, you should not go for it. I should write to the CEO as complaint, asking for compensation. Yeah, but all three customers are important for me. A person who does not speak, you should give him forums, opportunity to speak. A person who remains in the private, please try to encourage him and appreciate why he is not buying. Like Netflix, I went out from Netflix. So Netflix every time writes, we have come up with new things, we miss you, we are reminding you, there is a good offer, would you like to? So repeat, connect with the person who has slipped. And persons who are outragedly telling, I don't like, I want a compensation, try to connect with them. Try to see what is the compensation valid enough to be given. So if you give, that's something which they would appreciate. So one, try to understand who lies where, no action, private action, public action, address everyone, give them forum, know the reason why they are not speaking, what type of compensation they want, what type of actions they are taking. Yeah. And then try to, encourage them not only to speak, but to connect, appreciate them, tell them how you could, as a company, how you gained from their input, how you improve the product, give them the kudos, give them that, appreciation, acknowledge them, give them platform to talk. So these are the ways how you can encourage action, and you should. Because when you encourage action, remember one thing, a person is not dissatisfied because that product was bad. Generally, a person is dissatisfied because you did not listen to him, nor did you give appropriate forum, nor they have experience of being dealt well. For example, I don't speak. Why? Because I know nobody will hear me. It will be a waste of time. Yeah. So try to capture the history, the data, and then try to connect with people. So the data will say, certain categories of people don't speak. Data will say that, it is only Mayank who always tries to blabber, complain, every time asking compensation, every time asking product return. And Mukherjee is somebody, occasionally he asks return. He is not a fraudulent person. There is a genuine return. So for Mukherjee, I will go for a liberal return policy, and for Mayank, I will go for a stringent return policy. Yeah. So just a random pickup. Yeah, Mayank. So therefore, you need to understand that what type of return policy will you go for, rather than having one policy which is stringent. Because I try to think as a seller, as a marketer, that everyone is fraudulent. May not be. Yeah. So therefore, you need to have different types of options available for the person. And that makes and encourages the action. So you will be using your own customers who will be your brand ambassador, and they will help to reduce your cost. They will help to bring back the customer. They will connect with customer. They will give referral, feedback, and many more benefits. Yeah. So that is how you need to deal with. This is a very, very important stage. Why? Every experience which I have in the last stage will be in my memory. When I search for information, I will depend on my memory, use a heuristic, quickly go for action, and get converted to a loyal customer. Yeah. Yes, there is questions. Okay. So is there any questions pertaining to whatever we have discussed till now?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
No, thank you.
So now we will go for the next one, which is to do with a particular situation. Yeah. So just I will take a minute time and connect my laptop with the cord and then get back to you. Give me a minute. Okay, so now we will go for a particular context. I have given you a rough sketch of what is the consumer decision journey. So now let's try to understand the decision journey in a particular context. So I will be using the whiteboard. Let us say I am in a context of routine buying situation. How will be my customer decision journey be? It will start from need recognition, directly go to purchase. Again, next time when there is a need recognition, again I will go for it and purchase. And this will have a good memory. So which is post-purchase experience. Good memory will result in need. And again, I will go for the same product, same brand, same retail store. It will be a shortcut. I don't go through all the stages unless and otherwise I'm dissatisfied with my current retailers or my current product or brand. So this is all about buying situation. Now let's go for the platform, buying platform or channel from where you are buying. So let us say I'm buying from a physical store. Vis-a-vis, I am buying from a online. Online can be web, meaning to my laptop, app, meaning from my digital, or social, meaning your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Those are your platforms. So when I am buying from a physical store, it will be like a funnel. My decision journey will be like a funnel. So it will be broader here and it will become narrower as I progress towards the last stage. In the online, it can be either a fish or it may be circular. Now, in the physical store, your journey stages, when it becomes narrow, why does it become narrow? For example, let us say the last phase is post-purchase action. I went to the physical store. I bought the product. I'm a person always on the physical store. I'm a traditional consumer. I have no scope to connect online in the social media to return the product. I don't use the app. I don't buy online. So I cannot return the product. And I will think long, oh, the retail store is so far away. I have to carry all the way to the product to the retail store. So the action about reviews, feedback, return, all those things is narrow because the scope and the effort are something which comes as a hindrance. Whereas in the modern consumer decision journey, the journey is narrow, becomes narrow again over here. So this is the, the purchase and this is the need recognition. Need recognition stage is very quick. Why? Because while I am browsing through my online, through my social, through my digital platform, I see who are the people buying. I can reconfirm by asking, checking questions. I can send the image and say whether this will suit me or not. So there are a lot of platform scopes which can make me quickly decide whether I need a product, not need a product, and it will trigger because I'm exposed to, okay, if X is using, Y is using, W is using, why should not I? So I can see, I have a better, broader horizon. In terms of purchase, it also takes a quick because you have to just go for a click. So you have to press the button and make the payment. Whereas if you are going on offline, you have to carry the cash, you have to see that you have enough cash. Maybe you have to withdraw from the ATM, you have to decide which day will you go. Is it the off day? There will be a lot of traffic and things like that. This is very broad, which is post-purchase because there is a lot of scope for you to connect through email to the CEO, to connect through SMS to your, to your representative, to connect through WhatsApp to your friends and talk rubbish if it is a bad experience and good if it is a good experience. And sometimes you get some sort of appreciation. Maybe you get some discount, maybe you get some offers, maybe you get some credit, money if you are going for reviews, honest reviews. So therefore it is broad. Now why it is circular? Sometimes what happens when I recognize the need recognition, and then I progress, yeah. Okay, so progress, again, I can come back. It's very easy. For example, let us say I have gone to Amazon. I have made all sorts of choice of my grocery, almost about to make the payment. Then I see, oh, this one is out of stock. Again, quickly I come back to my, choice. I again see which are the other products, brands or alternatives available. So I oscillate between the stages because it is so seamless and so easy for me to drive back, to move forward, again come back, open enough number of windows, check, compare, and take a decision. So therefore, your contemporary consumer decision journey is either circular or fish with narrow, broad, whereas in case of a old traditional consumer journey, it's very, very broad and then narrows down. What is the challenge for the marketer? The challenge is, can I infuse these two? Can I infuse, meaning can I integrate these two canvas? So for that, what the company can do is called as a digital, meaning combination of physical and digital. So now, how can you make it physical? How can you combine? How can you infuse? So let's take example. Let's say Mayank. Mayank is a retail manager who is running physical store. Let's say DMart. And Mukherjee is a person who is running an online store. Yeah. So figure out what should Mukherjee do and what should Mayank. Yes, Arpita.
Mayank can promote his offers and everything on the online marketplace, so that if Mr. Mukherjee want to purchase anything and he's looking, doing a research as per his need, he can, land up to Mayank's product and his offers and whatever the thing it is there. So in that way, he can reach to his targeted customer, and Mr. Mukherjee can do a proper research, and then he can land up to the his Mayank's physical store to purchase that product.
Okay. Like for example, Amazon sells purely online. It does not have a physical store. Walmart. It operates in the physical store. So what should Amazon do? It will open a physical store? It will not.
Amazon works in a different setup, ma'am. Like
Amazon can make the digital store or the online store have almost every feature like a physical store.
Yeah.
And Walmart, which is a physical store, should have in the physical store all the feature like a digital store. That's digital. Yes, Asta, go ahead.
Ma'am, we can also take an example of Apollo Pharmacy, which is a physical stores, going to phygital strategy by launching Apollo 24/7, which is a online, all the good things about online store they have got in Apollo 24/7, while they have already have great presence with 5,000 plus pharmacies in physical stores. So that would be an example of a phygital strategy.
So your example was Walmart should open an online store.
No, Walmart can obviously have, yeah. So I think that was a strategy.
अरे यार असा आवाज येत होता तो पण केला बस केलं.
Yeah, Vignesh, can you mute your sound, please? Yes, yes, Asta.
Yeah. So Walmart acquired Flipkart to have that phygital strategy, wherein, or maybe that could be also said that, to enter India market, that was one of the strategy. But with this, they have a phygital strategy that they have an online marketplace in place, and now they can bring the physical stores of Walmart to India to have a phygital presence for quicker customer acquisition, I believe.
Ma'am, we can take an example of Pepper Fry. This was a furniture store where they opened it, the physical stores to check the material, how the outlook is, what the quality is.
Exactly.
They first came to online and they turn into physical stores as well.
How many of you are aware of Urban Ladder?
Yes, ma'am, we are aware.
Yes.
They sell what?
Furniture, home,
Furnitures.
interior products.
What they do
Furniture and
is,
furnishing.
so what they do is they do have a physical store.
Yes.
They deliver in the online platform. So you can go to online and you can figure it out. So they give the option of
Experience, yeah.
how it is. Urban Ladder does not want to use its physical store to have all the furniture into the physical store because it requires a lot of space, operational cost, lot of idle furniture standing on the shelf space and working capital block. Now, if I have limited furniture in the Urban Ladder physical store, will I have a good experience? Not at all. So what they do, you go to the physical store, they have very big monitors which are touch screen, and there you can see different types of furnitures. And if you don't want to carry the furniture all the way to your home, they will deliver it and you can place the order online, even in the retail store. So let's say I'm not very comfortable to place the order. I don't know. I don't have a laptop. I don't have a stable Wi-Fi connection. So in the store, they will assist me, help me to place the order.
And same is true for Lenskart also, right? When you go
That
to a
is
Lenskart
called digital.
store.
So when I go to the digital, meaning online, it appears as if I'm able to touch the, meaning it's like as if I'm touching, seeing, feeling the product. Meaning
Yeah, experience centers. They
touch
are
and
called
feel
experience
experience.
centers also.
Product discovery. For example, take the example of, I think this is Asian Paints. Yeah, I think it's Asian Paints. So when I buy Asian Paints, if you ask me, I am very careful for the ambience, the look. I'm very careful. I'm very finicky. I'm very choosy. I like to go myself, see it in my eyes, have a feel of it, a physical, tangible look. Now, for me, Asian Paints, people like me, Asian Paints, what it does, it gives you an app. Download this app on your mobile and use this app to see how your walls will look. If the color is green, if the color is pink, using AI. Are you getting me? So even if I
Yes,
am
ma'am. VR experience.
Experience also.
Even
Even
if
nowadays, flip.
digital, that is what is digital.
Yes.
Ma'am, in that way, many companies are now like
Yes,
using
yes.
this trend. Even Tanishq is in that same
Very
thing. They
Lens
have
got that.
digital as well as the physical stores as well.
Most of the jewelry biggies are into that, online and offline both.
Some of the companies, what they have done, in order to be digital channels, have certain functions. So functions can be demand generation, demand fulfillment, service, fulfillment. Yeah. So you as a channel can only serve this function. Can only operate this combination of this and this, anything. Correct. So therefore, when you are operationalizing on all aspects or only one aspect or combination of that aspect, it is called phygital. So when you are doing that, what is demand generation? Meaning creating demand, triggering the need. How do you do it? Through proper display, through experimentation. So for example, let us say I am going to a retail store.
तुझं ते दुसरं असतं तर मला आता चाललं असतं रिअलमी बड्स
Please mute it.
कळेल तुला
Vignesh, mute your. Yeah. So when I'm going for buying the apparel from a retail store, every time going to the trial room, again coming back, going, coming back is a nuisance. Takes a lot of time, irritation, discomfort. So now the retail stores are having magic mirrors, are having apps, are having many smart device wherein you need not have to change the cloth again and again, put one, then go for another, make your husband, your friend, whoever is accompanying you to give you a, I would say, a clarification that yes, you should go for it, appreciation, it looks good on you, no need. What you do is you carry the app, there will be a touch screen. If you press it, the apparel which you choose will fit onto you, meaning you will see your image on the screen and the apparel will get onto your image or your body. There you can see and you can put some accessories onto it, maybe a sunglass, maybe a dangler or bangle, whatever. and then you take a decision. Yeah. So these are called exploration retail stores. So you can always add an element of digital to your physical store and an element of physical to your digital store. So it requires a huge amount of creativity and understanding of how to make the store appear as if it is physical or a physical store appear it is digital. Yeah. Bangalore, Titan, it did it. Titan shops. Maybe in the next class, I will show you some videos which will help you to understand the concept. In Titan store, you haven't to take out the watch every time, wear it, every time, wear it. You just show your hand in front and it select the watch. It will automatically appear on your hand virtually in a physical store. And Titan did it long back. It was too advanced by that time in Bangalore. I think it was in 90s.
Ma'am, that is the virtual reality now in place right now. Buying a property also, they give you a glasses and you can see how your property is looking like and how it will look like. So that's
So therefore, you haven't to go to a destination. I may not go to Italy. I can sit over here and explore Italy. Webcam travelers. Travelers who use webcam to explore a particular destination. All these became very significant after COVID. Yeah. And it can be possible in across anything. You know, I also remember in healthcare, generally when you go for an MRI, when you go for some scanning, some of the pathological test or scanning, it takes a lot of time. You have to stay over there, you have to see it before food, after food, before breakfast, all these nuisance. Now they are having, you know, pills, disposable pills. You swallow it, it goes out. So when you swallow the pill, it will record the entire anatomy of your body. And with that pill, take it, you go to your, to your workplace, you work, don't bother. And this will have a connect with the doctor. On his screen, he can read everything. And this entire history or recording can be put on the cloud. Every time you need not to remember, recollect, and carry the papers and the documents. Such is the advancement. Yeah. So possible, all people may not be comfortable. Fine enough, give them the opportunity. If anybody wants that, you should visit. You know, there are some of the companies, hospitals, because people they cannot. For example, I remember if my mother has to go for physiotherapy, who will take her? She cannot walk. We don't have time. I cannot rely on others. So now what they are doing, they're having movable vans. This is called Jaipur footwear. The vans carries the doctors, the surgery setup, infrastructure, all support system. You need not to come from the interior of the village. We will reach you. Physical distribution has gone in a big way. So I will show you some videos in the next class where you need not to go to the store need not to come to you. Maybe in some middle place. You come to some space, they come to some space, and you go for such type of transactions. Yeah. I remember when I was in US, I went to Target. There are so many retail stores. Can a retail store have an experience of a simulation, meaning you simulate and you feel as if you are in that environment? Can anyone give an example? I will share my.
Ma'am, like 3D, 5D movies, theaters are there. No, they're that kind of experience you're
Virtual
saying.
reality.
In the experience industry, you can do that. I remember
Yeah,
in the
the retail, there are a lot of retail brands are doing. Even let's say FMCG toothpaste, there you feel that toothpaste is coming out on the street. Whole lot of even in Germany, they are giving out the entire a dinosaur is coming out from the Samsung screen.
Okay,
So
so that is augmented reality, which is fine. But in this case, I went to the retail store. I wanted to buy an umbrella. They will simulate that in a particular location of that retail store that it is raining like cats and dogs. Please hold this umbrella and see how much of audacity, strength it has. That's called simulation. Yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah, one more example I can share, ma'am. I am basically from a lubricant business. I'm from Castrol. So nowadays we are approaching to all the farmers who are using the tractors. So we specifically, generally, farmers move from a small village to come to a big town to purchase a lubricant, where the dealer play a vital role, and they change the buying decisions of a farmer. So we have move ahead with one more step, identifying the key town or village where the number of tractors is on higher side, and we move to that villages to provide them a service. So it is a means moving from dealer level to a consumer level, something like that.
Mohan, because you spoke of Castrol, because I'm taking class on marketing with my PGP and I will be teaching this case on Castrol, this case says how Castrol, which was not allowed to be placed in the, in the stations, fuel stations in India during 90s, how did they use the mechanics to influence? Even Godrej did it. They influenced the, the beauticians for their blackening of the hair, that product. Yeah. So it's a good example. You can use influencer who would be taking the idea forward and influencing. Sure. Yes, Rohan.
Thank you, ma'am.
So let me go to the chat. In Manipal also we have online account. We do not have to carry any what this is prescription. They are Kerala and states which are down in the south, they are very advanced. Yeah, but here you just cannot. When I went for my eye testing, the lady doctor asked me, "Are you not carrying the documents?" I said, "Madam, you have everything digitized, so I thought you will be having my history." She said, "I don't have time." I said, I did not say anything because she's a doctor, so doctor ko you should not irritate. But I was little surprised. They don't have the history, she does not have the time. What is this nuisance? Yeah, they have so many layers of people. Only finally you go to the physician, the dentist, or the doctor. So the preliminary layer of the people can always look at my history and give her a feedback. Anyways, I did not say anything, I remained silent. But yes, what you said is nowadays it is all digital, which is so easy. Now, I would request you, I want to take in a different flavor. I don't know whether it will work or not. You are around how many? 41 students. Each one giving your own insight will be a good, great learning. Yeah. And I'm not aware of your background because that is what we don't get. At least I have not got. So, like Rohan said, "Madam, we want to, we influence the dealer." I would like to come up with some instance situation wherein you give a very good insight about how you were a success, how you were a failure as a, as an employee or as a brand manager or as a company or as a brand, as a model. If you can write two small example situations, one is a failure, one is a success, it would be nice. I really appreciate the person because I'm taking so many online class. I'm not able to recollect whether this gentleman is from, from this batch. I really appreciate, he took the time, he wrote an email. If it is from this batch, I really thank that gentleman. He wrote in detail, I think this batch, "Madam, this is what I went through while I was buying a product." And he wrote all his experience, which was good. So, what I would suggest is instead of giving your personal experience, can you just give an experience wherein, as a marketer, you were successful in pitching a sale? As a marketer, you came up with a new product. As a salesperson, you were a failure. Please bring such type of example in the form of a PPT, which you can share within a week's time before we go to the next class. This will be very context specific. Why me? Maybe people like you can give a lot of suggestions, solutions, input, and learning can come across from each one of you, not only from my mouth. How do you think
Sure, ma'am.
about this?
Yeah.
Because everybody does not get a chance. Even if they get a chance, they're not very, very comfortable maybe to speak online. So I think this can be, yes, madam.
Ma'am, if we are not a marketer or salesperson, but we are in communication, for example, then what should we do?
So let's say you are in communication. So you developed a campaign or an ad or
Yes,
some
yes, yes. Yes.
It was really successful or a failure.
Yeah. Okay.
That can also be a, yeah, we
Okay. So we can give that example. We can prepare that. Yeah. Okay.
Polio, which was, this the brand ambassador was Amitabh Bachchan. Why was Amitabh Bachchan chosen? Was he successful? What was the rehash which was done and then it became successful? All these makes a lot of insight. We teach this in marketing. It's all about consumer insight. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Sandeep. Sometimes when I see your face, I feel so excited. I feel a connect. And most of them, they don't come online. I don't know why. Yeah. What makes them not to? You can use the background the way I have used. Yeah. Yes, Sandeep.
Hello. Yeah, no, I just want to add one thing. Some couple of years back, Amitabh Bachchan was advertising for polio. I don't know whether so he was requesting people to take polio doses. I mean, the kids. But that didn't work. After some time, the ad agency, what they realize is people don't like Amitabh Bachchan to go and request. So then there was an ad which came after that. Very scolded people that I've been telling you so many times. You don't. So then that ad worked. That ad worked, and people. Then there was long.
Background, yeah.
He is
Sandeep,
known for angry young
Amitabh
man.
Bachchan was used for polio during that time, and
Yeah.
Amitabh Bachchan was very popular. People accepted. He had a good acceptance. Polio was all about something which is to do with social cause, goodness. So they wrote in Amitabh Bachchan. But what happened later on when they went for a research to understand the effectiveness of this campaign? So they figured out that Amitabh Bachchan during that time was perceived to be an angry man. So the tone in which Amitabh Bachchan pitched polio could not, fit to the perception which people had. So therefore, the tonality of the communication was changed, wherein it would fit well with the angry man. So it is all about who says, how he says, and what he says. So, madam, it's not that if you are in communication, it's nothing to do with consumer behavior and marketing. It is who says, how he says, what he says. If you use Hema Malini for a detergent, it is wrong position. She neither uses a detergent nor she ever knows what is a detergent to be used on a utensil. It's wrong.
I'm
position.
using Alia Bhatt for Cadbury 5-star.
Yeah.
She
You
don't
cannot use, for that matter,
right.
Shah Rukh Khan for Lux. Lux is beautiful.
In the
Shah Rukh
in the
Khan
same way that
But ma'am, he was
our
used. He was
yeah,
used.
It was dropped.
Yeah.
the same way that is in the time of Swachh Bharat Abhijan, Vidya Balen was projected as a brand that ad brand campaigns many things. So same way and
Work in communication, your learnings from the failure can be an eye opener. I would appreciate that. Yes.
yes.
So what I would suggest is every individual take some time, prepare a small PPT of 1 or 2 slides, make it very comprehensive so that I understand without your presence. And whatever you give in the PPT should be eye opener, should be distinct, should be hatke. Yeah. You understand what is a hatke? I will give you an example of what is hatke. All may not be understanding Hindi, meaning unique, out of the box thinking, something distinct, different. So, how many of you have come up with a sales promotion which you still remember the company gave, and it was something which was very, memorable? Anybody? What? Sales promotion, you understand, with one free.
Yes.
And a sample
Yes.
sachet free.
Yes.
It as a low price. These are sales promotion. Do you remember any sales promotion which you still remember? You feel so happy to share something very new.
Yes,
Ma'am,
I was in Reliance. So previously I was working in Reliance, and Reliance especially that time introduced this time, and they are coming out the buy two get one offer over there. So the people who buy two, like the tissues over there, I was handling as a category manager for tissues category. So one day my boss came and told me that we are giving the buy one get one, and it is very natural now in DMart. The competition, other competition is also doing the same thing. What else we can do over there? What else we can do over there? So we come up and negotiate with the vendors, and we come up with that things as yes, there is a possibilities that we can do. If we come the buy two and then get one, then it will be a more attractive to the customers over there, and it will be, and it's on that time it was a 2019, it was in the Diwali period, and it was sold out so much quantity, and we just get shocked over there. And even the competitor also seen, and obviously in the market, competitor got this type of things. And even on not only this part, after that we did some cross merchandising as well, which like with the brand of 3M, that we are selling out the Scotch Brite, and along with that Scotch Brite, we are giving them the Vim shops over there. So this type of
So Niloy, just 1 minute. I think it's
Nilotpal,
Nilotpal.
ma'am.
Nilotpal, just a second. So you gave an example with 2 buy 1,
Yes, yes, yes.
because one with one, all
Yeah,
those companies.
yeah, yeah.
And we went for partnership with
Yes,
the
yes,
3M.
yes, yes.
This is a very common thing which most of
Yeah,
them are doing. Tweak
yeah.
it this way, but it's very, very common. Is your company doing something which is uncommon?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So, my name is Arvind.
So
So,
let's give a chance to Arvind.
yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay.
So, ma'am, we as a company are world's biggest manufacturer of rayon. If you know, that's a kind of fiber. We wanted people to experience that so that a consumer pool has created and retail brands start using it. So what we did was in malls, we actually got a huge machine, got a 8 feet fabric that was installed in all leading malls of Mumbai and Delhi, and it was flowing on music. So people can come there, touch it there, and it will flow accordingly, or they can play music and it will flow accordingly. So this got an opportunity for us to consumers come and experience the fabric. Viscose as a like rayon as a fabric is a much softer fabric. So once women came and actually touched the fabric and find it as softer fabric, that has led to much more orders from leading brands for us. So that worked for as a different marketing thing which has for us.
Yeah, I just requested Tarang. Yeah, Tarang has not spoken.
Yeah. So it's not like I would like to share the example of as of today, like right now, the biggest sale is happening on Flipkart. So I would like to highlight that thing because Flipkart is one of our clients. How they have created the perception that people are buying smartphones like vegetables right now, pan India, because they are finding the deals that you are getting, like it's the cheapest smartphone you can get in entire year. So this marketing event, like the biggest blockbuster deals of the year, I really liked as a marketer that okay, yeah, quoting a real life example, like there is a girl who bought the iPhone for 50 grands. After a year, she sells it for 40 grands and again buys another iPhone for 50 grand. So she's like, by putting 10,000, I'm using a new iPhone every year. So this blockbuster deal concept is something which catches and has an emotion with the festivity. So the positioning and timing is very correct. Like just before the festivity, you can
So now
spend
I
it.
will give you an example. My last, point for the day. I will give you example. I don't know. Maybe you must be practicing it, experiencing it, must have come across. But let's see. So when you go for a sales promotion, you need to understand the mindset of the consumer when you design the promotion. Otherwise, it goes as a waste. So I have seen promotion wherein with one you take another free, one at a low price, right? These are very common things which are standalone. So you do it all alone, stand alone. Then comes the concept of, collaboration, or you tie up with somebody. So it's a mix of brand A with B. So you say if you go for LG, go for, Tide or Surf or something like that. So with this is the relationship partnership, which somebody said Reliance with the 3M. But there are things which are called partnership with more than one. Meaning, as a company Reliance, you are having partnership with many, many. So let me give example of this. In my life, I experienced it. So this was when I went to, I think it was Dubai. So I stayed in a hotel. It was a big hotel, and this was because of the conference which I attended. So this hotel, so let's say this is the hotel, it had from inside the hotel, you can go to lot of big malls. Dubai has huge malls. So you can go to different malls. So they gave me, certain coupons, which was around 10 to 15 coupons. And I went to different shops, different types. Some shops which are to do with food, some to do with lifestyle, some to do with, apparels, things like that. And I used these coupons and I could buy so many items and I felt so happy. Yeah. Even I remember when I was in Florida, in this hotel, what they did, they gave me a booklet. This booklet had all sorts of coupons for any item which you can think under the roof. And when I went to Florida, Florida is a very different place, unlike Dubai, which has malls. They have individual, at a distance, retail stores. So what they did, in Florida, that hotel, they said that you can go to this spot where you will find very many retail stores free. We will drop you free. We will pick you back free, and you can spend some time over here. The booklet which they gave had all sorts of different coupons discount for each of the shop which you visit, right? So this is called partnership. They don't say that with one you get one free or with one company another free. This gives you a lot of choice, variety, and then it is you who makes a decision. It's not imposed. So sales promotion should have a value of economy, meaning I gain. It should have a value of social, meaning I feel so excited that I come and share with you. It should have a value of psychology. Psychology had a pleasure to explore, to experiment, to go. Everything was free. Anything you hold, it has a free offer. So this is called partnership. And you go for a sales promotion, which tries to take care of three elements: economy, social, psychological. It is very difficult to replicate by a competitor. Yeah. So with one another free, I can replicate. If Reliance does, somebody else will do. If Flipkart does, Amazon will do. But such type of partnership wherein you are trying to give value in terms of economy, social, psychological is difficult to imitate and it will be remembered. So it will always bring the customer back to that particular place. Yeah. So I am done with today's discussion. Let's go for a quick review what we discussed today. So I can show you the slide and share you these slides, don't worry. So let me share the slide and quickly take you through the reviews. So we discussed about the consumer decision journey, which started with need recognition. Then is the search for information, evaluation of alternative, purchase decision. Before that, there can be an intention. It may not get culminated to purchase or it may. So you should be careful. And then finally, the post-purchase. I said all of this depends upon a context. Is it B2B? Is it B2C? Is it the micro factor which is influencing the decision journey? Is it the macro factor which is influencing the decision journey? What is the type of the product? It is a high involved product? Is it a low involved product? What is the type of buying situation? Is it a routine buying? Is it a one-time buying? I don't go to destination, visit, travel every day. So it may be one time. So it may be a high involved buying decision. And then the type of the person is, are you a person who is analytical, logical? You use system two? Are you a person who is heuristic, who goes for a lot of quick decision, lot of intuitions, goes for, system one? So these are things which you need to be extremely careful about. And finally, we discussed about the context, which is, are you dealing with contemporary customers who are more comfortable with the online digital social platform, or are you dealing with a very traditional consumers of a generation which has never been exposed to apps, to websites, to online? Let's say my mother would like to go. She is not exposed to all these things, right? So you need to, or let's say you go for a villager who is not exposed to web, digital, and social. So therefore, can you go for a combination which is digital? So allow the person to go to anyone or explore the combination. So to offer them different types of platform. And if you're offering different platform, people who are in the very contemporary, it may be a fish, it may be a circular, If a person is more orthodox, operating in a very traditional, it will be a funnel. So therefore, you need to see in the context, what is that you are dealing with. So understanding the context, knowing the person, knowing your product, you then have to pitch and design your marketing action plan. This is all about the consumer decision journey. In the next class, what I will do is I will try to make you understand why is it so pertinent to know whether your client with whom you are discussing and dealing comes from B2C context, which is business to consumer, or they come from business to business context. Meaning, if you are selling it to me, am I representing an individual consumer or am I an institutional consumer? What is the individual consumer? Individual consumer is me, my private space. I am buying a laptop for my personal use, from my personal money. What is the institutional consumer? I am a consumer buying a laptop on behalf of IIM using IIM money. Hence, I have to follow the norms and the conditions. These are two different entities. So as a seller, when you are dealing with these two different entities, how does the decision journey goes through? Is it same? Is it different? If it is different, what is the difference? If it is same, where is the element of commonality? And that is what we will be discussing in detail in the next class. I will also be showing you, before I start that discussion, some of the videos. I think it will work out. Some videos I will show you so that you get a grasp on the concepts when you see it. And then I will be also sharing you today's slide, and I will be looking forward for some of exciting out of the box experience which you have as a brand manager, be it a product, a communication, a service or experience which you sell or deal with. I am done. If you have any questions, please feel free. Let me go through your chat. Yeah, there is nothing which I have it. I will share the slide to the officer and they will forward it to you. Not an issue. And I don't think so there is any question. There are two hands raised, Arpita and Asta. Yeah, please feel forward. Go forward. Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. Will we be discussing the deep customer focus article that was reading material
We will
given to us?
dive deep into the consumer insight, listening to the voice of the consumer. How would you know about the consumer? Is it only through questioning, probing, survey, or are there different techniques? We will do that. Yes, we will.
Thank you, Professor.
Ma'am, I would like to share two cases, as you said, no, that the failure and then the turn back of it while working in Google thing. I was at that time I was working for like I was handling under.
Interject. What you can do, Arpita and others, either you can share a
Yeah.
video, screenshot, or a story, or a PPT, whatever you think is relevant, and it makes sense. It should not be something formal, and it is nothing to do with confidentiality. You can share. I will have some time. I will randomly pick few of them, and then we can discuss. Just feel free, Arpita, to. Okay. Thank you all.
Sure.
Have a good day. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
ma'am.
much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
मैं तो बंद ही कर रहा हूँ